My favorite putter may have just gotten better. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here, out here on the golf course. And as they say, you drive for show, putt for dough. And if you have been watching my channel, you know that I picked this up last year. It's by L.A.B Golf. It's the B2 putter, and I have absolutely loved it. Lie angle balance is absolutely the best thing. Lie angle balance putter. No torque, untorque yourself is what they say, is just fantastic, because I think we don't realize how much putters are working against us when we putt. And I have explained that lie angle balance are basically totally indifferent to your putting stroke, essentially. They want to stay stable as you swing them. So many putters are either heavy on the toe or the heel, or maybe they have weight out in the back. And so what they want to do is they want to open up or close up, and they kind of want to flop open. And what that's doing is torquing your hands a little bit. And you are using kind of a death grip, even if it's not a strong grip, to keep that putter square at impact. So instead of a putter like this, if I go ahead and release this, you can see that the toe just wants to hang. It's going to actually open up. And so what it's doing is I'm holding it here. It's just kind of wanting to twist open. Now, this is a very old, very ancient ping putter, but many putters are weighted like that. Now, this lie angle balance putter here doesn't care. In fact, if I actually rotate it open a little bit like this and release it, it doesn't want to move. It actually doesn't want to rotate out of that. So what's interesting about this is it's completely balanced and it's awesome. And I love the fact that I can take a very light grip on this and putt with it. Now, one of the things that I discovered over the last year golfing is that this is the best putter I've ever owned. But probably the one thing that I would appreciate is a little bit more alignment aid here. Even though I use the blade style, answer style putters for the most part, they are usually just a little bit wider, so you have some longer lines usually to align it. And the added width back here actually just makes it easier to line. You get kind of more of a line at the top and the bottom, and sometimes the cavity back that's aligned up. So even though it's not a huge issue, one of the things that I've maybe struggled with is just making sure that it is square to my target, lined up the way I want to. So even a small 1 degree twist either way can be a problem. And actually, one of the things that I was thinking about was having a piece of carbon fiber, just a flat piece of carbon fiber that I would mount here, so it would give it a blade on the end and I could put more alignment lines on it like that. Well, I don't have to, because L.A.B Golf did some innovating over the last year and has come out with a brand new putter. Now, this one is called the MEZZ-1. I wish I knew what these things stood for. Mezzanine is the closest I can think of, but you can see MEZZ-1 right here, and this putter is a little bit of a split between the blade putter that they have, the B2, and the big ugly UFO spaceship one. I wouldn't play with that because it's so crazy looking, but what you get here now is a putter that has definitely more meat behind it. So what you can see is that the shaft here is mounted right in the center. We have a long alignment line here. This top line can be customized, so you can have a dot or nothing, but I certainly like having the line here. And then this piece right here, where everything that's silver here, all the way through the back right here is a block of stainless steel. So you have a lot of weight, really big heavy metal right in the middle here, and that's going to be all the weight right behind the golf ball when you strike it. Now, what's interesting about this is everything that you see black here is aluminum. So you have a very lightweight metal here, and I think this is maybe anodized in this matte black color, so you don't get a lot of reflection on it, but that's going to be a lot lighter. But then what they do is that they put in the weights here. So we have 4 weights on either side. Now, if you get it in the broomstick version, so a longer shaft, then I think that this is actually a little bit bigger. So I think you get a second row of weight on the top and the bottom, because you need more weight when the shaft is longer to keep that swing weight where you want it. Now, this is really interesting. I actually even noticed here that some of these weights are different. So what they do is they make this, and then they actually put in the weights to make sure that everything is perfectly balanced. And the big variation here for people is getting a custom lie angle. Now, I actually use a 67 degree lie angle. I like to crunch down on it. I like to putt very flat. And so what is really nice about this is that it allows you to get exactly the lie angle that you want. A lot of putters, even custom putters, will have some limits because they bend the shaft and they don't want to bend it too far or whatnot. So I've noticed that a lot of guys will sometimes putt toe up even, but what's nice is that they just drill this in based on your specs, and so that's really cool. You can get it exactly the way you want, and 67 degrees is perfect for me. It's also actually the temperature where I like to skinny dip. So they bolt this together, your center piece here in stainless steel to this aluminum. You can see the bolts that they attach it to. Then they put it in these tungsten, I'm assuming, weights here. What's also interesting is that on these little angled edges here, we also have some additional weights, and so that's going to make sure that we have weight in front of the shaft, counterbalancing the weights that we have in the back, but it also means that we have a lot of weight weight out to the sides now. So even though the B2 had weights in the toe and the heel here, what we have now is a lot more weight in the toe and the heel and further back. So the MOI of this putter is much higher than the last putter. So off-center hits aren't going to twist this as much. It's going to be more stable even as you're putting, and you might actually even have a little bit more mass through the putt stroke too. So I think it's a good looking putter. Although I might not say it's a great looking putter. It's definitely got fangs here. If you like that original spider looking design, this is going to be very familiar to you. But what I really love about this is, one, all the technology improvement and the increases in forgiveness. That's all really great. But what I also really like is that we just have a deeper putter, so it's going to give me more points of alignment. Even these angled lines here, all of that helps me focus on the target and make sure I'm lined up. Obviously, this big center line is right where I would line up the ball. That's going to help. But as you can see here, we actually have some relief cuts on top of the aluminum block, and those are all kind of very subtle lines that are also going to point me in the right direction. What I also like about this is that they are angled a little bit, and what that kind of reminds me of is the MLA putters that have like the C shape on the back. So I have a flat edge on the front, which can help me line up perpendicular to my target line. I have this line, which can line up directly with that target line, but I also have these two angled lines, which is just going to help me zero in when I'm looking for a little additional help. So I really like that. And then obviously we have the two big fangs here. These lines look like they are parallel, so all of that is going to just help give me a better sight picture. So I'm really excited about that. Now, in this case, you can get a variety of different shafts, including the very popular LA Golf shafts, but I went with the BGT Stability Polar because I've been using it in my other putter here. It is absolutely the best shaft I have ever had. I absolutely love it because I love the feel of it, and it doesn't change the swing weight over a standard steel shaft. I really, really love this. Now, one of the things that I would say, and I would strongly recommend, is maybe improving the shaft in any putter that you use, because this one really will not torque very much. And so an off-center hit on the putter, even though this head is designed to minimize that as much as possible, the shaft also tends to torque, and no one has really improved putter shaft technology over the years, so something like this is going to reduce the torque up here as well. I also love the fact that they have this press grip. As you can see, the grip here actually already builds in a press forward angle on the putter. You can see here it goes in angled at 1.5 degrees, so you're already leaning the putter forward just a little bit, kind of like a lot of normal people do. They kind of lean that putter forward. So I love this because now the grip is really in line with the front of the putter right here, and so it kind of masks the fact that you've got the shaft going right down into the center of the putter. So I really like that. Now, you also have some lines on the putter right here. That should maybe help with feel. I don't see them graduated too much. A lot of times they will put larger dots or larger grooves in the center to bleed off a little bit of energy when you strike in the center, and make those progressively smaller when you reach the outside, so that it transfers more energy on offset hits, so that your offset shots will go as far as your center shots. But I think this is more just for feel than anything. I think it can help transfer a little bit of spin and roll. Obviously, the B2 putter did not have any of those. Seemed to work just fine for me, but I definitely like the addition of those. Now, I'm going to hold on to this putter because, like I said, this is the best putter I have ever used. I'm just hopeful that this MEZZ-1 putter is just as good, because if it is, it's going in the bag. Now, I also want to show you, I wouldn't normally spend a lot of time on the head cover here, but this is a beautiful head cover. Obviously, we have the L.A.B Golf logo on there. You can see that it's a heavy, heavy duty nylon that looks like Cordura, and then a microfiber fleece liner inside here. And so what this is it's a perfect fit. Now, I've actually heard that they went ahead and changed the design of the head covers. Now, I don't know what the first ones were like, but this second one, at least, is absolutely perfect. And as you can see, because it's center shafted, they've got these two little flaps here that close down, and they are magnetic, so everything goes together very nicely. What I will say, and this is a very, very small nitpick, but when I go up to the green, I like being able to take off the putter head cover in one movement here, but what you have to do is you actually have to pull both of these tabs down. So it's not quite as sleek and elegant as a single tab head cover, but like I said, this is a beautiful head cover. Now, what do I think about the putting? Well, let me tell you. All right, so I've been playing around with this putter a little bit, and what can I tell you about it? Well, I love it. I want to show you here first. As I pick this putter up, even when I'm really ginger with it, it just doesn't want to twist, which is really awesome. When you're trying to make that pressure putt, you've got that light grip on it, you're trying to just be very ginger with it. You don't want to worry about that putter flopping open or closing up on you. So the beautiful thing about this is it just gives me that peace of mind that when I'm going to swing it, it's going to stay square, and I'm not going to have to think about any other forces than just having a good, solid putting stroke and line it up to the hole. Now, I've got a little cup down there, At the end of the putting green, I'm also wearing one in case I have any errant shots here, but I thought I would just go ahead and putt a few balls and show you what I'm talking about. Again, I love these alignment lines. I feel like they are just an improvement over the last one. And you can see here, they go right about where I expect. Again, I don't put the ball necessarily in the exact same spot here. And I can just take a nice little putting stroke. Try to take this break into account now. But, you know, where I line it up, just a nice light grip on this. And that putter stays square all the way through the shot, which I love. And I will tell you, I think the feel on this is great. It's got just a nice pop to it. It just feels like all the weight is in the right place to it. It's got a nice send off the face. It's not too dull and not too clicky. And the more you putt with this, just the easier and more pleasurable it becomes. And like I said, it's not so much helping you become a better putter, it's just taking out some of the forces that you are fighting with on the golf course and making you be the best putter you can instead of having your putter be the enemy of good putts. Oh, man, I really like this. Again, I'm kind of neutral to the looks. I think it's a better looking putter than their original putter, but it's also a very good looking putter. And I think for a lot of us that were thinking about sticking with their blade putter, this is a more traditional shape. It's very popular to some of the other putters, but it's not even as extreme as some of the ones that have the really long fangs, as I call them, hanging out the back. So I think it's a really great putter, nice compact size, but it has a little more meat in all the places that I want for alignment and for stability and MOI and off-center hit accuracy. I think it is fantastic because putting better can help you enjoy life a little better. So I'll put a link to this in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more and explore so much deeper. We can live better than